You're probably thinking to yourself right now, Stubbs, what the hell is that? Is that a FAMAS? Now normally that would be a joke, but yes, dear viewer, yes, that is indeed a FAMAS. This is the FamAR. This is what won the popular vote between M26 Mass at Home or this a few months ago when I asked viewers to vote which one they wanted me to spend more time on. This is a direct impingement FAMAS derivative using a standard unmodified AR15 upper receiver. I have a billet side upper with a free-floating handguard. I'll have a parts list with the specific one next. But everything down here is FAMAS style with AR15 fire control group components and a nice Picatinny rail up here. The charging handle will cover up to about here of this rail, and then the front section here, I have my nice cheap little riser to throw on because I'm going to build a flat top variant, although I will try to make the cosmetic sight razor / carry handle because it is iconic and it's what makes the FAMAS look like a FAMAS. So here it is, stripped down with nothing else on it because I haven't printed the covers, I haven't finalized the charging handle, and this up front, this is going to be hell for me. But right now, with this transfer bar, a little bit of tuning, and I'm actually going to add a second spring because this guy right here is all working on the trigger spring, so I'm going to add a second one up here. Reworking the safety, I'm reworking a few things, and I'm still modeling the old school F1, but this functions as is, and it will be, hopefully, able to be downloaded by New Year's. So you can go ahead and get started on this if you so want a FAMAS. Alright, let's go over how it works first. This is a compact AR-15 buffer tube needed because the standard bolt carrier here is the full-length mil-spec bolt carrier. That's so that I can put a left ejecting upper and a left ejecting bolt carrier on this, and I will make a left and right-handed version of this gun. You will not be able to switch it back and forth like the real FAMAS. You will need other parts. The upsides are we'll have a functioning bolt catch, and there's going to be a little hole in the cover here for the cheek piece for you to hit that bolt release. The trigger is long and gritty as you would expect from a bullpup. I have this trigger is just one piece inside of here with a stirrup on the front that interacts with the safety that I'm revising. This is a piece of coat hanger rod. You can use steel if you want, and then that hits this transfer bar in the back. This cover that goes over it won't fit up here without the stock cover on, but it's going to be open on the bottom, so you can reach this in emergencies. And the stock doesn't add any overall length to the gun. It actually has a hole pass-through here. From this to the tip of the barrel at the threads with no muzzle device for your OAL is 31 and 3/8 inches, just under 31.5 inches. That's 29 3/8 with an 18-inch. The real FAMAS is an 18.2 inch barrel because that's a nice whole number in metric. And if you really min-max it with a pinned 14.5 or a 14.7, you get 27 3/8 overall length, or a little bit shorter than the real FAMAS. I've added 1 inch right here to accommodate this buffer system. This lengthened stock cover will accommodate that, and then the charging handle is just going to be actually riding this rail right here and pinned to a modified mil-spec handle. So my nice little short one here without the full cover, if I wanted the flat top FAMAS Valerice style, you can actually use this as is without the top cover and iron sights. And you can also use it without the front handguard here. This is a separate piece that comes off, not only so that this sub-assembly can be printed on a standard sized ender, but because this part right here is optional. And you could just take that off and use M-LOK foregrips and accessories if you felt so inclined to. Alright, so for magazines, and I don't have the magazine catch in here, it's just very stiff. I have a mil-spec GI Stenag metal AR-15 magazine, a very worn one. The magazine well is a bit longer than an AR-15, so it will not fit a Magpul magazine, any of the polymer magazines, maybe a Lancer. I was going to revise that maybe and make a higher cut magazine well, but this one is clone correct from the side profile. So it's modeled after the G2 here. It fits a standard AR magazine. I will make an F1 style forend with the little small trigger guard, the retro style, but I'm going to leave the rear of the gun the same. You can use one of Brownell's straight 25 round magazines, however, and it happens to look a lot like an F1 magazine. I tried to mirror a few of the little quality of life improvements the FAMAS has over other rifles of the time, although these are not what you would want on a modern rifle nowadays. I have these very large, blocky, square sling swivels. I've actually made them slightly thicker so that they're printable, and they're just going to be held between the butt plate and the stock cover. I have a grip compartment that is far too tight for me to open on camera here. I may modify that slightly. The charging handle isn't going to have the latch on the front where it tilts like the real one. However, it is non-reciprocating because it is just going to be conjoined to a standard AR-15 charging handle back here. And I am adding a bayonet lug to mine personally, although I don't know whichever barrel length you choose may not be compatible. I'm actually just taking the AR-15 bayonet lug off of a spare front sight base, putting it on here upside down. If I make the full handle up here, it is not going to include the rifle grenade sights. It's going to be very simplified, but it will look the part, and that's what matters for this. I figured the video wouldn't be complete in keeping with the holiday theme if I didn't show you what I got for my Christmas. This is a Type 56 needler carbine, specifically in the Loro Gelka pattern. This would have been made in the Lodum Armory post-schism after the Human Covenant War. You could be an absolute menace in a Halo Infinite lobby with one of these, and I fully intend to be.